I want apple juice.
You want to watch SpongeBob?
Yes, with apple juice. SpongeBob.
Hollywood corporations suck. But unfortunately, those said corporations are the one with comically large amount of money and own the animation studios that I actually enjoy. I mean, I am an animation fan. One of the things I like doing is going through a studio's filmography and just seeing where they're at right now. For example, Sony Animation, you know, the niggas who started off making mid/bad movies. Yeah, one day they just said, you know what, we're gonna make good movies. And they did, and it's great. Now, if they only knew how to treat their workers. Disney and Pixar, the legendary duo who are kind of getting behind the times, actually, no, they're not. What the fuck, when this happened? DreamWorks out here making banger movies out of dumb ideas, while simultaneously making mid movies out of good ones. It's crazy. Hell, even Illumination is out here making me enjoy a 7 out of 10 Mario commercial. It's bonkers. I enjoy a lot of the stuff these studios make. And then there's Nickelodeon in the corner huffing paint. Okay, so a few days ago, I watched the new TMNT movie, Mutant Mayhem, and it was a banger. But after watching it, a question popped in my head, that being, oh yeah, Nickelodeon makes movies. Why doesn't anyone talk about them? And it's not like they just started making movies. They've been doing this shit since the 90s, yet the only time I ever see people bring up Nick is whenever they're talking about the SpongeBob films. And last time I checked, I'm pretty sure they had other animated movies. So I decided to give some of the other Nick movies some credit, and proceeded to watch all of them. And by all of them, I mean the animated ones. I don't want to watch live action ones. And to make up for that, I added some of the direct TV movies and the Nick movies that were on streaming. So yeah, that's like a total of 21 movies I gotta watch. Jesus Christ. So yeah, let's do what the title of this video says and rank these hoes from trash to peak. And remember, if you made a list, nigga, you blew it, because they ain't a real list if I ain't do it. My opinion is law, bite me. And with that being said, holy fuck, this movie is bad. Wonder Park is a movie. Yeah, bro, this is all I got. Wonder Park is a movie.
It's a Bleed Crow mag.
For real though, I deadass had to watch this movie twice because the first time I watched it, I fell asleep mid-movie. And the second time I watched it, I was struggling to write any notes down for this shit because this movie is so boring. Ah. Okay, shit, okay, let me try, okay. Like, the main character is June. She likes parks. She has a psychic link to a monkey who owns Wonder Park or some other dumb shit. Her mom gets the sick TM, and then June is sad and doesn't like parks no more. But due to random bullshit, she gets sent to Wonder Park, even though she doesn't like parks no more. What? Then they meet the other memorable characters of Wonder Park, such as Pig, Bear, Porcupine, Beavers. And she's gotta help the park get better before it gets destroyed by the darkness and blah blah blah. I don't care. I don't care! Not gonna lie, dude, I think my main issue with this movie is that it's so painfully basic and mediocre, I really don't have anything to say about it. The animation is boring, the setting is uninteresting and bland, the movie feels like nothing happens with how directionless it is. That last part is probably because the director of this movie was taken off the project due to having allegation of sexual assault. Wait, what? But yeah, I think it says a lot that the only thing I can remember about the movie is not even the movie itself. It was supposed to have a show on Nickelodeon, but the movie bombed. The end. Next! My ears. Yeah. This movie sucks. Okay, so quick rundown for the few niggas who don't know. The Loud House started off as a show on Nickelodeon created by oh my god! But yeah, it's basically about Lincoln Loud living and trying to survive being in a big old family consisting of him, his parents, and his 10 sisters. I remember watching the first season when it was out and thinking it was a really good show, but I never really kept in touch with it, and apparently that was a good thing because the show started to suck dick in its later seasons. And during those later seasons, they decided to make this and okay, so first off, I kinda don't like how the movie portrays the sisters as like famous people in their town. Isn't the whole aspect of the show like, yeah, they might be a big family, but they're still pretty normal people? It feels like it was done to give Lincoln an out of nowhere problem not feeling special, so in the movie he's trying really hard to prove that he should be the Duke of Scotland, but he's never really had that problem before, and the movie doesn't do a good job of fleshing it out. Also, the movie takes place in fucking Scotland. So, Lincoln and his family just find out that they're royalty in Scotland and they just go there. Again, bro, I only watched the first season, but isn't the Loud House supposed to be more of a grounded and down-to-earth cartoon? This shit has castles, magic dragons, ghosts, and all of this shit just feels so bland and superfluous, desperately trying to make the movie more interesting than it actually is. That being it isn't. This movie also doubles as a musical and
Oh, my freaking ears!
Hey, here we call the Paw Patrol. You gotta call the who?
Larry, what the fuck is this shit?
damn. I'm on the third movie and I already regret making this video. This gotta be a YouTube new record. The Paw Patrol movie is a dumb baby movie for dumb babies. The end. The plot is very basic and bare bones, and that's probably because due to the fact that the target audience for this movie is still learning how to potty train. And last time I checked, the only time I ever piss my pants is when I'm heavily inebriated. The cop dog, the wiener dog, and the boy, I'm not gonna look up their names, are the only ones with like a resemblance of character development. The rest of them kind of just stand there. The villain is the purple guy from FNAF, and the only good part of the movie is when the dog cop jumps in slow-mo, and some nigga on Twitter was really trying to gas this shit up. That shit was funny as hell.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit.
So yeah, bad movie, fuck cops.
Here he is! I finally found Reptar, Chucky!
From one dumb baby movie to another, congratulations to Rugrats Go Wild for being the worst Rugrats movie by like a wide margin too, bro. Goddamn. Not gonna front, it's been a hot minute since I've watched the Rugrats, but I do remember me growing up with the movies more due to having all three of them on DVD, and even then, I remember watching this movie right here the least. I hope you like really unfunny and dated movie references. I hope you like unfunny or gross out humor from the babies and them constantly doing baby talk, which they fucking doubled down on doing even though it's not cute or funny. I hope you like that the movie puts in the bare fucking minimum effort when it comes to being a crossover by having Tommy and the rest of these babies just like Nigel Thornberry for no legit reason, because fuck you, this is the third Rugrats movie. SpongeBob hasn't taken the top dog spot yet, but we're gonna milk this shit dry, nigga. I hope you like a talking Spike voiced by Bruce Willis, because that's the only thing that they could promote about this movie. Well, you know, that and the odorama. Actually, no, I don't want to smell baby farts. What?
Why do you always have to look on the bright side? We can save the neighborhood. We can find a document. You can drive the bus.
Because somebody has to.
I'm gonna hold you, dog. Going back to this movie was a hard thing to do because back in the day, the Hey Arnold movie was my jam. Hey Arnold was one of my top 5 Nick shows, and even though I kind of knew the movie wasn't really like the show, I still rocked with it hard as a kid. But now, I'm a jaded 23-year-old with nothing holding me back, so I can say without any qualms, yeah, this movie's kind of bad. You know, I think it's kind of funny that this movie has the opposite problem the Loud House movie has, when that movie is trying too hard to feel like a movie. Meanwhile, this one doesn't really feel like a theatrical movie at all. Well, that's because the Hey Arnold movie was never really planned to go to theaters, but due to the big ass trend of cartoon shows heading to the big screen, Nick threw a little bit more cash, but not enough, and said, hey, fuck it, Hey Arnold the movie out now, we got Little Romeo or whatever. Okay, so I get the whole point of Hey Arnold is how it's very grounded and shit, but you could have done at least something a little bit more interesting for the plot of the movie. It's that's just a We Gotta Save the Rec Center episode, a thing that the Hey Arnold show has done before. Twice actually, but now stretched out to like an hour and a half. It's also really weird how the movie kind of just super focuses on Arnold, Gerald, and Helga. One of my favorite aspects of the show is that it did a good job fleshing out the rest of Arnold's classmates and community. Wait, isn't the movie about Arnold trying to save his neighborhood from being demolished? Where the fuck are these niggas? Bro, Phoebe, you know, Helga's best friend Phoebe, isn't even in this movie on some where did she go type beat for real. The art of this movie is kind of bad because aside from the 3 main characters, no one else in this movie has any type of shading or depth, so it's kind of just really distracting. And the Helga plot is neat until you realize it doesn't fucking mean anything. Or whatever animated Aaron said, bro, I'm tired. It's been that long? So, yeah, pretty mid movie. Have fun waiting a decade for the sequel. Okay, so remember season 4, episode 5 of SpongeBob Sell Out, and that one fish nigga takes a bite out of a fake ass Krabby Patty that looks good only to find out that it's garbage?
What'd he say? Garbage?
Yeah, that's pretty much this movie. Congrats to Sponge on the Run for being the worst SpongeBob movie out of the 3. And okay, look, I get it. SpongeBob has gone through a lot of changes over the years, and I'm at a point in my life where I can come to terms with that and accept modern SpongeBob for what it is, and hell, sometimes it can be kind of funny. However, I'm sorry, I really wasn't rocking with this movie. Obviously, one of the best aspects of this movie is its animation. It is so cool seeing the 3D/2D animation with the SpongeBob style. It works so well, and I am immediately out of good things to say. Long story short, the premise is kind of just the first SpongeBob movie again, but kind of worse. And like, don't get me wrong, the idea of SpongeBob going on a quest to go save his pet Gary isn't a bad movie concept, but it just kind of ends out being pretty lame. The set pieces that they go to is bland and forgettable. Also, I forgot how obnoxious this movie is when it comes to celeb cameos. Like, deadass, there's 3 of them shits back to back, and the movie feels like it halts in its tracks for it to happen. And it's super underwhelming for like the climax of the movie to take place in a courtroom where they're just expedition dumping why they like SpongeBob instead of, you know, showing it to me. Also, Camp Coral, boo!
Oh yeah! Well, you know what I think?
Who cares what you think? You're a girl now.
I am going to be so real with you, dude. The worst thing about this shit is that it's 3 fucking hours. What the fuck, Butch Hartman? So Wishology is pretty fine. I'm pretty sure this came out during season 7, and during that season, that's when Fairly Odd Parents wasn't really all that good anymore, but it wasn't fucking doo-doo butter garbage like in season 9 or season 10. Season 7 is just fine, and this movie is pretty fine. It actually starts off pretty strong with Timmy having to be on the run / on the lookout for these evil 3D robots who want him for reasons we don't know about yet. There's this cool mystery chase vibe thing that they got going on, and it's really cool for them to immediately ditch it for now to be a basic ass Timmy is the chosen one and now must get the 3 MacGuffins and train under Brendan Fraser before the darkness destroys them all. Damn, nigga, another villain that's just darkness? The fuck is this, Kingdom Hearts? Wow, that was all hanging fruit. But even so, I still found myself enjoying the movie while it's pretty simple and there's not much going on in the story or character development. It's pretty funny, I'll give it that. Plus, even though it's a TV movie, the animation got a little bump up and it's a constant throughout all 3 parts, which is pretty cool. And for me, Wishology always felt like a send-off / end of like modern Fairly Odd Parents as we know, due to it making a lot of references throughout the show's history and having a majority of the side cast be a part of it, which is neat to see. Side note, did you know that the creator of Johnny Test, Scott Fellows, wrote for this movie? You can tell because he keeps making Timmy do this.
The darkness is back.
Okay, so now we're in the territory of movies where their quality ranges from decent to pretty good. That being said, why is Barnyard better than I remember? Don't get it twisted, this shit isn't like peak or anything. I just expected this movie to be, you know, lower on the list. To make it simple, what Barnyard is basically just, what if the hit book Animal Farm, written by George Orwell, was instead written by historical party animal Andrew WK? So basically, what if Animal Farm but good? And it actually is. I totally get why this movie gets memed to hell and back, because this movie is really funny, and not gonna lie, the fact that it kinda looks a bit ugly helps with the funny factor. Also, I know that a lot of people mostly remember the show more than the movie with how fucking bonkers it is, but what's really wild is how this movie has like a plot and emotional story beats in this hoe, and they actually kind of work. Like, for real, Ben is such a GOAT character, and I really like how they bring up how he isn't really Otis's biological kid, but that nigga raised him like one. Also, while there is a lot of them, I do think the party scenes really do help push the idea of Otis's problem with him not taking responsibility, especially, you know, when it leads to the death of his father figure, like, Jesus Christ. But on the real though, the way this nigga went out was like Whitebeard, bro. Ben is such a real nigga, bro. On God. If I were to bring up any negative points towards the movie, I think one of my main ones would have to be the fact that...
Hey folks, it's GeekToons back at it with another viewer mail time. Here's a letter from Sally, age 14. Dear GeekToons, aren't you just interrupting Tahj's ranking video? This isn't even your channel, why are you here? Ha, that I am, Sally. Well, that's all the time we have for today, and remember to keep on writing.
We thought the fun times would last forever. But we was wrong.
Well, damn. Deadass, the first Nickelodeon movie to start it all. And it's not even in the top 10, that's tragic. But the movie is still pretty good. Honestly, you can tell that this is the first ever animated Nickelodeon movie. Because not gonna lie, these niggas low-key tried hard as fuck for this movie because the animation is nuts. None of the other Rugrats movies look like this. Hell, they were even trying more with the story compared to the show. The story focuses on Tommy Pickles, you know, the little fucking infant who's gotta help his new baby brother Bill. Wait, Bill, are you what the fuck? who's gotta help his new baby brother Dill and the rest of his crew find a way home from being lost in the woods while simultaneously trying to learn the responsibility and unfortunate side effects of neglect of being the bigger brother. They were even fucking with 3D technology that is terribly dated for today's standards to give a weird visual depiction of giving birth. All of this to say, while it's very impressive, the movie is kind of a downer and a lot more melancholic vibe compared to the show. And me personally, I don't think it works most of the time. Like, for Christ's sake, it's about a literal infant learning that he must grow up for the greater good even though he doesn't want to. And for the climax of the movie, he questions on abandoning his responsibilities by having fucking monkeys eat his brother covered in peanut butter paste.
I am uncomfortable.
But even so, I can still respect this movie, especially for the fact that it was one of the first animated movies, not made by Disney, to make over $100 million in the box office, paving the way for other great TV shows to the big screen, such as God no. Okay, let's just go to the next Rugrats movie, okay? Oh wow, really? I was fucking joking, but Rugrats in Paris is the best Rugrats movie. Congratulations. Yippee! Not gonna lie, this might be the nostalgia talking, but I had a lot more fun watching this movie. I think it has a more lighthearted and a more fun vibe, which is kind of crazy to say since the whole movie decides to make the main focus be on Chucky and to an extent his father dealing with the whole, you know, having a dead fucking mom situation. I mean, it works. It makes you feel for Chucky. You want to see it succeed, and in the end, what's essentially helping his dad score with the right chick. The animation is still pretty good, and this time they got better with 3D because they decided to have a kick-ass Gynax robot fight in the end of the movie. Bro, they even had the wimpy, nerdy kid pilot the robot. It's the exact same thing. It's also kind of crazy that this movie essentially gives us a new baby, that being Kimiko, Chucky's new sister. And that's all I have to say about her. Also, I fully believe that this movie takes place in Paris for only 2 jokes, both of them involving piss. Isn't it crazy that the best Klasky Chupo movie is from their B-tier property? Okay, so I'm not just gonna sit here and lie to you and say that I was a Wild Thornberrys fan, okay? For real, I didn't really watch the show when it was out. I can vaguely remember what it is. It's like about the Wild Thornberrys and that one chick who has the ability to, you know, talk to fucking animals on her Dr. Doodle shit. Also, they have a wild child son that they just found in the woods and he talks like this. But with all that being said, the movie does a pretty good job introducing all this shit to a person who's never really watched the show, and being that said person, I enjoyed what I watched. The plot is pretty simple. Eliza lives in a family where they travel across the world, making one big ass documentary show, and while being in Africa, due to some of her mistakes, she gets some baby cheetah cubs snatched up by poachers, and she gotta do what she can in order to get them back. It's an interesting setup, and they do a decent amount with it too, especially with how I felt throughout the movie there was like a more up the ante vibe, noticing how there wasn't really like a lot of gross out humor. The jokes were kind of based around more witty stuff. It's kind of weird that nothing really else happens in the movie. Eliza doesn't really like have a moral character dilemma. None of them really do. If anything, there was just like this weird thing where they just send her to like English school in the UK, but it doesn't really get dwelled on because she immediately gets out in order to, you know, find the fucking cheetah cubs. But even then, the movie's still pretty good. Okay, but now we're done with all the bullshit. Let's get to the big boys top 10. First off, well, hey bro, 2 out of 3 good movies ain't bad, am I right? And yeah, I'ma come out the woodwork and say you niggas are wrong and Sponge Out of Water is low-key heat. It's not like the first movie, but it's not trying to be. What it is though is hella weird, good to look at, and funny as hell for most of the runtime. I enjoy the dynamic of Plankton and SpongeBob working together throughout the movie. Also, shout out to the marketing team for hiding the fact that a majority of this movie was 2D animated with a lot of neat storyboards and visuals. And the guest star is not obnoxious and a pretty decent villain. Shout out Antonio Banderas. The epic rap battle was kind of cringe though, not gonna lie. However, they do make it up by having a banger ending music by NERD, so good job movie, you get a star.
What's the date today? The 15th?
Yes, if it makes any difference.
Then tomorrow's the 16th! Eureka! We're saved!
The first 2 things I thought when having to watch the Tintin film was, wait, this is a Steven Spielberg movie? With one of the writers being Edgar Wright? The next being,
Damn! That shit good!
Ayo, Tintin Secret of the Unicorn is hard as hell. Based on the British comic made by the Belgian cartoonist George Remies, Secrets of the Unicorn is a fast-paced, action-packed thriller filled with twists and turns, and with twists that low-key I didn't see coming. Not gonna lie, as a person who thinks that there's no good-looking fully mocap animated movie, no, shut up, don't lie to yourself. The mocap in this movie is legit pretty good. There's always been an uncanny valley when it comes to this types of movies, but this one surprisingly gets it right by sorta having them be more on the cartoony side. Also, I really enjoyed Tintin as a character. Yeah, he's simple, but my nigga is really about that action. Speaking of action, it's all pretty good. When I brought up Edgar Wright worked on this movie, you can really tell with some of the choreography. If anything, some of the issues for me as a person who doesn't really know this franchise franchise, they don't really dwell on these characters. That's because this movie is like at 100% throughout the entire time. It doesn't slow down. But hey, if you're looking for some fun action throughout the entire time, this is one hell of a ride, so I'll give it that.
I love you too. And that's why I had to tell the truth. Because the truth will set you free.
You know, it's truly unfortunate that the Fairly Odd Parents never got to be on the big screen, because Abracatastrophe is a really good movie. This came out during season 3, so this is like Fairly Odd Parents in its prime, and it very much applies to this movie too. The art style is so good, and the implementation of 3D throughout the movie is phenomenal. This is probably like the funniest the Fairly Odd Parents has been too. These characters are so snappy and quick-witted in this one. I do enjoy it. The main plot is also interesting. It's about Timmy having a celebration for the fact that he's been able to keep his fairy godparents hidden from the public for over a year, which gives him the magical gift of the Fairyversary Muffin, which gives him the ability to grant any rule-free wish he wants, and which of course he dropped in the wrong hands, that being a monkey first then to Crocker, which leads Timmy to try and fix the world from Crocker's evil wish. If there's any problems, the movie kind of gets sidetracked with the whole monkey wish, but I'll let it slide because the monkey world has a lot of funny bits and set pieces. Also, the way Timmy is able to beat Crocker is smart and sad, because yeah, telling his parents that he has godparents will set them free from Crocker. However, it also means he'll never see them again. Ignore the fact that there's like 7 more seasons of the show left, but hey, for a minute it got me. But yeah, pretty good Fairly Odd Parents movie. However, Channel Chasers is better, but that's not a movie, that's a TV special, so it's not on the list, sorry.
There are no such things as aliens. Oh no! There's the key, Jimmy! Hurry, Jimmy Neutron! You're our only hope! Women.
I really don't know how to describe it, but in the best way possible, Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius is such an early 2000s vibe. From the way it looks, from the plot that's being told, hell, even to the Aaron Carter-ass music, it is such a guilty fucking pleasure for a nigga who loves the Y2K aesthetic so much. So about that plot, Jimmy Neutron is your average run-of-the-mill scientific genius kid who can do just about anything, well, aside from staying up late and going to the grand opening of Retroland because golly gee, parents sure are bummers. But that's not gonna get in the way of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius from sneaking out and having a fucking rager anyway. Woo! Parents suck! Oh, also evil Ed looking aliens get a signal from Jimmy and decide to abduct all the parents and decide to give them as an offering to their chicken god. But who gives a shit? Parents are gone now and the kids rule the nation. Woo! We're the kids of America. Well, we're the kids of America. Well, I do not know the rest of the words. Again, this might be the nostalgia talking, but this was my jam as a kid, and it holds up better than I remember. Also, holy shit, is that a butthole? Can you tell I'm heavily inspired by Toonerific Tariq and Rebel Taxi yet? Also,
Imprecise words.
I still can't believe we got this, bro. Like, I've watched this shit multiple times, and I'm still amazed that we finally got a good Hey Arnold movie. A jungle movie, to be more precise. But yeah, I enjoyed this. If anything, the movie just feels like a big-ass apology for whatever the fuck they were trying to do in the first movie, because in this one, they do what you're supposed to do when making a Hey Arnold movie. For real, I love that even though it's a field trip to San Lorenzo, a majority of Arnold's classmates are here, and they get to do something. Harold, Curly, Sid, Rhonda, Mr. Simmons, Stinky, Phoebe? Bro, they remembered Phoebe, thank God. Hell, even Helga's sister, Olga, and Arnold's grandparents get some good screen time. Speaking of Arnold, the plot's actually about him, you know, trying to find his lost parents in San Lorenzo, and I actually give a shit because holy fuck, this plot plan has been left unresolved for like 13 years, and they're finally gonna do something about it. Also, the art is consistently good throughout the whole movie too, and the Helga plot actually means something. But I don't really care because Gerald x Phoebe is better, fight me. But yeah, finally, a good Hey Arnold movie. It can feel pandering sometimes, but it's towards me, so I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna help people like you.
Mutant Mayhem is a good ass movie. Y'all niggas are just some old farts. This is just a fun ass movie, and this is coming from a dude who doesn't even like TMNT that much. First things first, the art style is so fucking good. Every day I pray to my Lord and Savior, the Peanuts movie and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, for making studios realize that stylized 3D animation is the wave, and I will never get tired of this shit. It's so unique and stylized. It deadass looks like children's shitty doodles in their notebook. It's ugly in the best way possible. I also just love the characterization of these turtles so much, and it's kind of crazy to think about the fact that, you know, when you have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles act like modern day teenagers teenagers, a bunch of old fucking farts would bitch and moan about them acting like, you know, teenagers. Are you fucking dumb? And they do something really unique and interesting with the whole supervised villain and the rest of the mutants, with the whole like moral and lesson being about like acceptance of other people. Also, just glad that there's another TMNT movie with No Shorter as the main villain. Yay!
Are you crazy? I was just gonna tell you that your fly is down. Manager, this is the greatest day of my life!
Like, bro, honestly, like, what is there to say about the SpongeBob movie at this point? The shit bangs. I knew it was gonna land somewhere in the top 10, and I can't count how many times I watched this movie throughout my life. It's just a good-ass movie. The art is so good, and the animation is so flowing and exaggerated. There are image reaction memes from this movie for a reason, dude. The comedy of this movie is so fucking top-notch. There's so much just shit that I reference from this movie in my normal day life like a crazy person, in which I will do right now in this video. You all know the rules. All bubble-blowing babies shall be beaten senseless by every able-bodied patron at the bar. Fill her up, please. What will it be, fellas? Mustard or ketchup? We're on a baby hunt, and don't think we don't know how to weed them out. And the plot is just a simple quest for SpongeBob to prove his manliness and get the crown back to save Mr. Krabs from Plankton and Neptune. And yeah, the ending can be seen as sort of a Deus Ex Machina, but nigga, shut up. It's a SpongeBob movie. It's a funny, heartfelt adventure, which is honestly one of the highlights of the SpongeBob series. You know how when I was talking about Mutant Mayhem, I said I wasn't even that big of a TMNT fan? Well, there's an exception to that. That being that Rise is one of the first TMNT properties I've ever gotten into, and I fucking love it so goddamn much. In which you can best believe that I also fucking love the Rise movie so goddamn much, bro. It's so good. One of the things that make me enjoy Rise so much is that it's totally not afraid to do its own damn thing. And the fucking Rise movie starts off with a post-apocalyptic future where only 2 of the 4 turtles are fucking alive and are older warrior badasses who send Casey Jones into the past to help with modern day turtles and inform them about their deadliest enemy yet, the Krang. Again, this shit isn't like any other Turtles movie, and I love it for that. I love the whole plot of Leo having to stop being a fucking dunce and actually learn how to be a good leader. And the scenes where he realizes that his smart-ass remarks doesn't mean shit if he can't lead is so fucking good. Also, the animation. Hello? The animation is so fire, and the comedy is on point, too. Donnie is the best character in the show, by the way, don't test me. Honestly, the only thing I can think that's a negative about this movie, and for this version of the franchise, is the fact that these versions were never given a chance because niggas were very stupid and dumb. I'm so tired of seeing clips on TikTok or Twitter where niggas are talking about Rise being like, damn, bro, I didn't know Rise was like this, bro. I should have peeped this shit earlier. Yeah, you should have. Too bad it's canceled now. I fucking hate it here.
Soon your world will be... Nope, you ruined it, girl. Nice going.
Ooh-wee, the Gothos are gonna love this one, and that's okay because Invader Zim Enter the Floorprince is such a good comeback for Invader Zim as a whole. It is insane on how the fact that Invader Zim has been gone for so long, but Enter the Floorprince was announced and it came back like it never fucking left. It doesn't miss a beat. Jonah Vasquez has gotta have this shit to a fucking science because this shit is pure comedy and fun the entire time, and I don't get drained by the end of it. I actually just want more because this shit is so fun. Also, this is the best Invader Zim has looked like ever. I always respected and admired like the original art style, that being very sharp and very ragged, but you know, they learned what a round tool is, and it's so good looking while still having like this sharpness to it, and I just love the coloring too. It's like a sick ass neon poster. Also, while never really being like a big thing in Invader Zim, the characterization and the plot is really good. I do enjoy that there's like this cool like coin thing with Dib trying to get the respect and admiration of his father, while Zim is also trying to get the respect and admiration of the tallest, who just don't give a shit about him. Also, Gaz has more of a character, which is cool. Also, Gurr, he's also cool too. And I'm not just saying this so the goth girls can hit my line. Honestly, bro, what else is there to say? This is a phenomenal movie, and if you're a short goth girl with a fat ass and a girl hoodie, please hit up my line and follow me on Twitter.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Who exactly are you?
Names. Rango.
There is a reason why Rango is the only Nickelodeon movie that has won an Oscar, bro. Rango is undoubtedly peak. It's not even funny. During a time when animated movies were looking and feeling all a little too samey, and in an era where people have given up on the Western film, Rango showed the people that the medium of animation and the genre of the Western still had wonderful and artistic stories to tell. We are introduced with a chameleon who is desperately wanting the story of his life to happen, and it does, but not in the way that he wanted to, of course. He is then told to find his quest, which leads him to the town of Dirt and the legend of Rango. The story of the movie is phenomenal. This shit is a surrealist Western folklore that tackles action, drama, betrayal, death, and revival. All of the characters in the movie are so good, but the main man himself, Rango, is on a different level. I just adore that they do like the Samurai Jack thing, where in the beginning of the movie, we are never told his name. He just makes up Rango as a fake one, but to be honest, he doesn't have an identity at all to himself, so he just makes one up as he goes along, and it's so interesting to see him just dig the hole deeper and deeper, only to realize that he has to become Rango in order to help the people of Dirt. You know you made a sick-ass lion reveal trope work to me personally is when you ask one of the characters, say, "Who are you?" and he just walks away because he doesn't know. That shit is so hard, and it all just helps with the art style of the movie, bro. Like, this shit came out in 2011. Like, holy shit, dude, what the fuck? It's this art style that got a mixture of exaggerated animalistic character designs blended with hyper-realistic textures and graphics just to give like this off-kiltered and dry feel throughout the entire movie. As I said before, I really do think 3D animation is the best it's ever been in the modern day, but we will never get another movie that looks like this again, bro. It's crazy. And I guess another cool thing to bring up is that the soundtrack of this movie is really good. Like, on God, this shit makes me feel like I'm in the Wild West, like the good fun one, not like the shitty racist one that we're in right now. But yeah, that's just it. Rango is undoubtedly the #1 movie in my animated Nickelodeon's list, and it's just straight up peak. This has been Tahj Talks, and I hope you're able to find your quest. Also, I'm serious about that goth girl thing. Please hit me up.
Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
It's a Bleed Crow mag.
Come on now. Now stop it.